Hey everyone, so obviously Karen is not right next to me, and that's because she just has a really busy schedule, and it's really hard for us to come together and do these reviews. And so what we decided is I'm gonna do a lot of reviews by myself. We're still gonna be doing reviews together, but just so that we can keep content rolling on this channel for you guys so you can have something to watch, we wanted to have it to where we're doing trailer breakdowns and movie reviews, but now these movie reviews will be coming out more consistently because I have a much more free schedule than Karen does. Today, I'm going to start reviewing the Lord of the Rings trilogy, starting with The Fellowship of the Ring. So The Fellowship of the Ring was made in 2001. It's directed by Peter Jackson, and it stars a lot of people, including Elijah Wood, Ian McKellen, Viggo Mortenson, and a bunch of others. I'm not going to go into all their names, and I'm not going to give a full synopsis of this movie because it did come out over 15 years ago. If you haven't seen it, go see it. I'm going to be talking spoilers. It's a long movie, but it's a great movie. It's easily in my top 10 favorite movies of all time. I loved this movie when I first saw it, and I had no idea what Lord of the Rings was when I first saw this. After the prologue of the movie with Galadriel talking, she mentions the name Bilbo, a hobbit from the Shire, and that's when I was like, what? Bilbo Baggins? My mom had read The Hobbit to me and my older sister many years before that. And I was 12 at the time when we went to go see it. I still didn't really know where I knew those names from, and then I heard Gandalf, and I'm like, what? Where is this from? I know these names, and I had to ask after the movie, I'm like, what were those names from? What is this movie? And she's like, oh, do you remember that book I read to you guys a long time ago, The Hobbit? Yeah? That's, like, this happens after that movie, that book. And I was like, oh, okay. Without having any prior knowledge to what Lord of the Rings was, I still loved this movie. I loved the adventure aspect. This film is shot beautifully. I love how there's not an over-reliance on CGI to make the scaling believable. When Gandalf and Frodo are on the wagon, they're literally in the same shot. Just Elijah Wood is put further back than Ian McKellen, and they're in the same shot acting with each other. They're obviously not able to look at each other. Like, Elijah Wood looks up here, but really Ian McKellen's up there. It was incredible to see that. I've watched the making of this movie several times, and it still amazes me how brilliant they were to do this and how great it turned out. There's really good character development in it. Not only are they good characters, and it's from a book, so anyone who's read the book is already going to love the characters. But when I first saw it, I had no idea what this movie was. I knew the names Bilbo and Gandalf, but I didn't really know where they were from. But the characters on this movie, you quickly know what they're about. All of them. You get Frodo, you know who he is. He's kind of just this kid who just wants to have a normal life and not do anything unexpected. And later on you find out that he's kind of a coward, but he's also resilient to the power of the ring. Then we're introduced to Sam. He's a loyal guy. He's just a good friend to have around. Gandalf, he's kind of a, he pokes and prods and gets people to do things. Frodo, you need to go take care of this ring. Go destroy it. I'm gonna go find some stuff out. All these characters, you love them. And even Strider, Aragorn, you find out how cool of a guy he is, and he's willing to risk his life for these people that he just met. Because he doesn't really know what's going on. I mean, he sees that Frodo disappears, so he's like, I think that might be the One Ring. The acting is spot on. I love all the actors in this movie. There may be one actor that just didn't quite work out for me, and that's Hugo Weaving as Elrond, simply because he was Mr. Smith in The Matrix. And every time that he says, "Welcome to Rivendell, Frodo Baggins," I always expect him to say, "Welcome to Rivendell, Mr. Anderson," simply because I had seen him in The Matrix before, and that's the that was the first movie that I remember him being in. There are so many different places that they go to, that the characters go to, that we get to see. And that's what I love most about this movie, is it is an adventure story. That's why I love this one more than the other two. The other two seem more about the wars, like Helm's Deep and Minas Tirith. Those battles, while they're cool, they're not the adventure that I wanted. Yes, they had to happen, but that's why I prefer Fellowship of the Ring, because it is an adventure. It's a desperate mission to go destroy this ring. And it's only the 9 of them that are doing this. We don't get like 10,000 men versus 100,000 orcs. It's 9 characters, 2 men, an elf, a dwarf, a wizard, and 4 hobbits against hundreds or dozens of orcs and Uruk-hai. The scene in Moria was always my favorite scene. It was just so cool to see them fighting all together. Again, we see Frodo being a coward. He's just kind of running along. I don't think he kills a single orc in this fight. I don't remember it. He's being protected by Merry and Pippin, and I get it. But why couldn't he tell them, hey guys, I have a mithril vest. I'm like invincible right now, so let's go take care of business. Let me do something. The cave troll scene, that was awesome. I love that they all have to team up on it. It shows that the trolls were very difficult to kill. It takes them all to kill it. All of them, except for Frodo. And he would have just been in the way anyway. The Balrog was just incredible. And I seem to remember in the making of, the Balrog, the character, was stop motion. Enhanced with CGI, like all the flames and stuff, but the body of it was stop motion. That still to this day holds up so well. It's just such a beautiful movie, and that they shot most of it on location is incredible to me, you know? As an aspiring filmmaker, I have to shoot most of my stuff on location. I don't get the ability to make sets, big sets. I can't use green screen all the time because I don't have a space big enough to make a full room green so I can do like 360 shots. I have to do the majority, if not all of it, on location. So having a feature film, a legit production, make a film that's primarily shot on location, that's inspiring, and it's done so well that you're immersed in this world, and it's incredible. The action in this movie is just incredible. Every scene that there's action in it is intense, there's emotion to it, and the choreography is not over the top. It looks like they're really fighting. The last fight scene between Aragorn and the Uruk-hai leader, they're getting knocked over and falling on their back and falling on their stomach and getting thrown around. That fight scene doesn't last long, but it's such a good fight scene. I remember rewinding it when it first came out on DVD. I rewound that DVD over and over again and watched that scene over and over again. Viggo Mortenson actually had the guy in the Uruk-hai costume throw the knife at him. He actually threw a real knife at Viggo Mortenson. And the take that they used was the only take, as far as I know, that they did where he actually throws it. And he literally blocks the knife. First try. The sound effect is legit. Even the headbutt between the Uruk-hai and Aragorn, that actually happened. He actually made contact. The death of Gandalf and Boromir were so powerful and impacting in the story, and it just impacts the audience so much. And the music, Howard Shore's score for these films, in particular this one, just brilliant. I love Concerning Hobbits. That's an amazing song. I love The Bridge of Khazad-dûm. Every song is identifiable to me in this movie, and I love it. So this movie, if it's not obvious enough, is just a great movie, well casted, well acted, very well shot. CGI is incredible for the time, and it still holds up to this day. The action, I think I've already said it, is incredible. everything about this movie is just amazing. You got good characters, you got good acting, you have good directing, you have great action, good CGI, and it's used sparingly. It's not overused. It's used when it needs to be. And I love that they shot most of it on location. And if it's not obvious enough, this is one of my favorite movies. I've said it before. But I give Fellowship of the Ring an A+, and it totally deserves it. If there was a higher grade, I would give it. So that's my review of the Fellowship of the Ring. I'm going to continue doing the Lord of the Rings trilogy with the Two Towers next, and then followed by Return of the King, and then the Hobbit trilogy. I'm doing these this month because January is kind of a dead month of new release movies. Nothing really good ever comes out of January. There are a few exceptions to that, but January is typically the month where movies go to die. So be on the lookout for my review of the Two Towers coming soon. And let me know what you thought of Fellowship of the Ring in the comments section below. And if you like this video, be sure to give it a big ol' thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and make sure you hit that bell icon next to the subscribe button and check that checkbox so that you can be notified for when we upload new videos. And as always, guys, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.